Good morning. How are we? Happy Sunday. So, this morning, thought I would talk about willpower and something that I get a lot and had just last week. I think it was Tuesday. Tuesday. I had a chat with someone about willpower and how they know what to do, but they just define themselves as having no willpower. And if you agree with that, just if you come in and say hi, if you're coming in and say hi, give me a replay if you're on replay. And I'd probably say that a lot of you can probably agree with this in that you know what to do, but maybe you define yourself as having no willpower. And I'm going to touch on this in two ways. Firstly, I'll tell you something really simple and actionable. Then the next point is a bit more deeper, I would say. So, in terms of willpower, what we're actually finding is it's not actually, in the research, actually a limited resource and that it runs out, but it kind of depends on what you do and your habits, really. And I can describe this. I mean, if I think about my work and my job, I could work all day and just keep working because I enjoy it. But you give me something else to do that I don't like doing, and all of a sudden I've got to use a lot of willpower to do it. And they see this in research, is in terms of they give something that someone doesn't want to do and they have to use a lot of willpower, sometimes they don't do it. If they have a reward at the end that makes them feel good, they'll do it. They'll find it from somewhere, even if they've exhausted their willpower in the studies. So we are motivated by reward, and we are motivated. That reward could be from what you're doing, from giving something, from seeing results, whatever that is. Now, I'm going to give you something, like I said, really small, actionable habit right now. And this comes actually from going down slides with my 4-year-old and 2-year-old daughters. Now, when I was younger, you always find like some of the slides are pretty rubbish, right? You go to a park, slides are pretty rubbish. And to go a little bit faster, you just lift your legs up and lean back. And that slight subtle difference makes all the difference in terms of how fast you go and how enjoyable the ride is. Now, granted, the park was for 8-year-olds plus, so the fact I even had a good ride down was pretty fun. But my 4-year-old ended up with a bit of a surprise as she whooshed off the end. But anyway, that aside, that's a really small change that literally can make or break your slide, your your ride down. And it's very similar. And something I spoke about with one of the ladies on Tuesday. She knows what to do. I could tell her all the information about protein, carbs, fats, vitamins, nutrition, processed food, fasting, no carbs, low fat. I could tell her all the information in the world. It wouldn't make a difference because she knows that already. However, what she has agreed to do and has done this week, more so than not perfectly. This isn't about being perfect. Like, you don't have to be perfect to get the results. That's the great thing. But she's doing two things, and this is going to sound a bit weird, but it's kind of like a stopgap in between doing something really habitual. So her issue really is comfort eating in the evening or afternoon when she's bored at work, essentially. But she has to work because that's just, she has to provide. She values her family, values time away, and that's the key thing. You have to do it. So she's aligning that now with something else, one. But two, the simple habit is every time she walks into the kitchen, in a break, procrastination, she's often, if she notices how she feels, she's often quite stressed. Okay, so what she does instead, every time she walks under a door frame now, she's taking one deep breath in. Morning, Sandra. She's taking one deep breath in and out. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. And she's just going to notice how she feels then, how her posture feels, how tall she feels, how more relaxed and calm she actually feels. Then she claps her hands, if she wants to, claps her hands 4 times. Sounds ridiculous, but she claps her hands 4 times. And she's doing it. And she's like, wow, it just makes me more aware of why I'm going in the kitchen. Before, I just go in the kitchen, be thinking about work, thinking, this is annoying me, all that to do yet. Just pass me something to eat to pacify a few minutes. Now I take a deep breath in, I clap 4 times. And when I do it, because I don't always do it, Matt, and that's okay. When I do it, it stops me. And if it stops me 4 times a week, that's 4 times a week better than before. Morning, Bronya. And how powerful is that? And I know that's a really simple thing. Now, Let me know if you're going to try that, by the way. Ridiculous? Maybe. But if it works, and if it starts to make you slow down and get more self-awareness, then that's great. Morning, Barbara. Give me a hello if you're coming in. So, next point is more around something that came up on Friday, which was about weekends. So one of the ladies on the Kickstart program, she mentioned that she's finding weekends a bit of a struggle at the moment, with regards to socializing, drinks, first weekend of the pubs, but not just that, like gardens before that. So she's finding that quite tough. And my point is one, when was the last time you actually went to a beer garden and had a drink? You've got to, this is why you do it, right? And she said, yeah, that is why I do it, to see friends, to socialize, to be there, to be healthier, to be happier. And you want to get that balance, right? Because if you didn't allow yourself to do it, would you be happy? This is a key question. If you didn't allow yourself to do that ever, would you even be happy? No. Okay, so you need it in your life, that psychosocial benefits of doing that. But at the same time, then we went into a bit more, and she does enjoy it, but she doesn't enjoy it to the extent she does it. So she says she often just does it too much, and like it reaches a point where she doesn't actually enjoy it anymore. Whether that's the number of social events or whether that's just how hard, out on the social event, if you like. And then we went into kind of why she actually does it, and quite often it does actually come into trying to fit in with others. And then she said, like, we went through, like, do you want to be like them? And she said, no, I don't want to be like them in terms of like the lifestyle they live. They live a different lifestyle, but we just socialize, and that's just what we do when we socialize. And it's interesting because she said, I want to be liked for being me, but then I'm not actually being me because I'm actually just trying to fit in to be like them. And it was a really interesting conversation because quite often it's in our heads that we think we have to act a certain way to fit in or please others. But often we haven't actually spoken to them at all in terms of explaining what we're doing. And actually, this is a conversation about whether you have 3 drinks or 5 drinks, but this could be to do with when you're offered food going to a friend's house and maybe you just don't want to have it, but you have it because you feel polite to be polite, but then you just feel rubbish for the next few days. And there's 2 elements to this. Either have it and really enjoy it and be okay with that. Yeah, it might slow down your results a bit, but can you compensate somewhere else? Or 2, make the decision that you actually want to make that makes you happy. Because if you keep making decisions that don't make you happy, like truly don't, not just you're beating yourself up kind of warranted, but you're truly unhappy with the decision you made, you've got to consider why you keep making those decisions. They must be serving you in some way. Do you value what other people think more than how you value you? I don't know. And this is an important question to ask sometimes, and quite deep, admittedly, for a Sunday morning. Good morning, Sue. Yeah, another beautiful day. So, just having a think about that. And, I've been through this before, but I know a few of the ladies found this quite helpful in terms of when they are, going around. Like, I know one of the ladies does a lot of home visits, and she's always offered like, oh yeah, have this and this. And she kind of feels like, oh, do I be polite to them and have it, but I really don't want it? And what she does sometimes now is just says, oh, you know what, I'm really thirsty. Can I have a glass of water? And that is just the difference in there. And sometimes because people, if you think loved ones, friends, they just want to provide for you. That's often a sign of loving. So get you what you kind of want. But going back to where we are, let's summarize this a bit more. So going back to the first bit, willpower, procrastination, boredom eating, going into the kitchen, taking a deep breath in. When every time you walk under the door frame today, it's a really simple thing you can do. Just take a deep breath in and outside. See how you feel then. Number 2, just consider the choice you're making. Does it make you happy? Is it the choice you want to make, or are you making it to please someone else? At the expense of what you want to achieve, what's important to you, what's most important to you? Is it your health? Is it at that time? And it's not that it has to be one or the other, But if you're constantly not happy with the way you are, whether that's health related, body, whatever, then we have to just consider where the choices are, where the habits are that we could change. And it could be that the door frame one is a good one to do. You're on your own when you do that. This is this situation anyway. She's working from home. She's on her own when she does this. She's not missing out on psychosocial benefits of eating out, cake and coffee, barbecue at the weekend. If she saves a few calories there by being a bit more present, taking a bit more self-care, because that's what it is, taking a deep breath in, being more aware, she can actually maybe have a few more at the weekend and actually get those psychosocial benefits. So I hope that helps. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Sunday, and I'll see you soon. Take care.